Someone's banging on our door. Let's hope we don't get murdered.
We will. It's fine. It's almost Valentine's Day. It's about time.
And then they're gonna cut out our deaths for being too gruesome from the movie.
Welcome back to the Shaken Not Scared podcast. Here with you as always, your hosts Erick and Vivi. Today we're going to be talking about the 1981 film My Bloody Valentine, directed by George Mihalka. But before we get into that, how are you, Vivi?
I'm sticky.
Why?
This drink is very sticky, and then we spilled like half of it before starting.
It's a great start.
It's a good time here.
How are you, though?
I'm fine. It's like 2 days after Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, listeners.
Happy Valentine's Day. I was actually going to say it's Loki's birthday, but yes.
Yes, as of recording, though, it's Loki's second birthday.
Yay, he's 2 years old now. He's a grown old man.
He is still insane.
He will be for a long time, if not forever. We're also officially licensed bartenders. We had to do 20 drinks under 9 minutes. Vivi beat me.
We should get a competition going. We should do a live and do a contest.
We should do like a taste and speed.
That'd be fun.
Fuck it.
Just yelling.
Yeah, and then just have people in the comments say, now make this.
That's not how you make that.
What did you watch for creepy content this week?
I finally watched Revenge. I think I've mentioned a million times on the show that I don't really like rape, revenge, horror. And I had heard super great things about this one, so I was like, okay, let me check it out. Some pretty good things. Some crazy gore effects that are pretty good. Storyline was meh. It was okay. It was just okay.
Every time I came outside, it looked like Michael Bay filmed it. Like Transformers, the first one. Just huge emphasis on sweaty people and dirty people.
Yeah, like the sun in the desert type of vibe.
Glistening skin.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a tan.
Yep, it was interesting.
Should I watch it?
I think it's a good watch. I did say that the part that I thought was super funny was that there's a point where the woman is in the desert and she has a terrible wound and she has to cauterize her own wound and she uses a beer bottle. The logo of the beer bottle is like imprinted on her stomach like a tattoo. And I was like, I don't think that would happen.
You know, this makes more sense now. I think the day that we were talking about it, I pictured a beer can and I was like, why the fuck would the logo...
Oh, it was a can.
Beer... Oh,
My
was
bad.
it? You said bottle. Okay, because I was like, if it was a bottle, that makes sense. If it's engraved, you know how some bottles have that texture to them? If it's a can, that shit doesn't make any sense.
It was a can.
Fucking stupid. For that reason alone, I will not watch it. Just
Okay.
kidding. Just kidding. I'm going to watch it for that reason alone.
Gotta check out that scene.
Yes.
What do you have for creepy content?
We watched Final Destination 3 with What's Your Least Favorite Scary Movie and Flyover State of Fear. Yeah, Joe, Travis, and Jess joined us. Last week, we were trying to watch Midsummer, the director's cut, but we couldn't find it. We also underestimated the fact that it's only available either through Apple TV or pre-order on A24's website. So we bought it. We will have that Midsummer director's cut live, but in the meantime, we watched Final Destination 3, which is fun. I fucking love those movies.
Yeah, I had not seen those in a very long time. I don't remember a lot. Eric kept remembering the kills before they would come on and spoiling them for the rest of us. Just kidding. We've all seen this.
Well, because there's just so many of them, and I was like, is this the one where this happens? And they're like, yeah, that's this one. And
next.
I was like, what about this one? And they're like, yeah, that's this one. And I was like, what about this death? And they're like, no, actually, that's the fourth one.
You got one. You keep saying that the DVD is available for pre-order, but I think it's just order. So if you want to get a copy, you can just get it now.
What I meant by pre-order was just like, you have to order it.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought you meant like it's not out yet. You have to get on pre-order.
Yeah, there's just a giant wait list for
Everyone wants more.
pre-ordering the post-order of the order
Yes.
of a movie that came out 3 years ago.
Yes. God, 3 years ago, I feel like 2019 was like last year still.
I feel like that movie is still playing right now because it's
still
just
going.
that long.
You're not wrong.
Final Destination, though. It's good.
Yeah. We skipped straight to the third one because
It's the earliest one available on streaming before having to like rent the other two. It's on Netflix. I think 4 or 5 are on there too.
yeah, but it also seems to be a fan favorite. I believe everyone in the group was like, this is my favorite one.
Oh, yeah, I told you my traumatic story. I'll save it for when we cover Final Destinations. I just live my day to day just thinking about how death could kill me with everything.
Yeah, I think those films traumatize the whole generation, so we should cover them eventually.
I'm looking at the mouse on my computer right now and I'm like, battery flies out of nowhere because it's old and explodes, and then the battery cover just lodges in my throat.
Which is about as crazy as those movies are.
The most impossible things, yeah. What do you have for comfort content?
Finally got to season 3 of What We Do in the Shadows. I just really love that show. It's just so fun to have on. We were talking about how Guillermo is like one of the best Latino Mexican characters we've seen in like the horror genre. Like we don't see a lot of them first off.
No, we're always like the cleaning lady or
Yeah.
curandero, who's weird because he cracks eggs on people's faces. That's That's it.
He's just there to help the white people, that's all.
They literally can't function without him.
Yeah, while that is also Guillermo's role, he has his own story, and it's not just like a joke that he's Latino, he just is. And again, we just haven't seen that in anything really. Kind of sad. If you know of a show or movie that has that, please recommend it to us.
Yeah, I was talking about Los Spookies with some folks online. That's also another one that, because it's in Spanish, maybe doesn't get as much hype as it should. That's another one that I think you should check out. It's pretty funny. Fred Armisen's in it if you like him.
Yes, he is.
Fucking love Fred Armisen.
He is so weird.
Such a weird guy. What drink do you have for us today?
Okay, I'm excited about this one. It looks very bloody.
I like it. It looks really cool. It's melting.
I think I'm going to call this one the heart-shaped box for obvious reasons. There's a lot of heart-shaped box in this. I did this like candy coating on the rim of the glass. It looks super cool, but I don't recommend because it's super sticky. There is Canadian whiskey. I would recommend if you want to be super Canadian to go with Crown Apple, Canadian whiskey, dark rum, pomegranate juice, pomegranate liqueur, apple juice, lime juice, among other little things that we will all list.
This drink's not even that big. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, it's very small measurements of each. Just killing us.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this drink's not even that much. It's also very hyper red. Like, it looks like a melted candy.
Yay. That's what I was going for. I'm just disappointed that the coating is supposed to harden, and it looks like it's still running. So, cool for the gram, not practical in real life.
You could serve this at a pop-up, like a horror pop-up, and then people are just going to be chewing on the cups. Cheers.
Link. Stuck together.
Stuck together. That tastes like a candy.
It does taste like a candy. I wonder if it's the rim. I need a straw to get past the rim I've created.
It is heavy on the pomegranate.
You know what this tastes like? It's a popular drink I don't know the name of, but literally like that apple whiskey and cranberry juice that like is really popular in bars. I'm pretty sure it goes by like several names.
Apple cran, please.
I get an apple cran. I would say this worked. It's pretty tart, like a sour tart heart candy.
Yeah, it definitely hits the vibe of Valentine's Day. If you're looking to drink on Valentine's Day and be a little romantic and sweet, this is the drink for you.
This is insanely sweet.
What do you rate it?
I thought I was going to love it, so I'm kind of disappointed that it's really sweet. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
Oh, that's still pretty high. I'd give it a 2, but it's not nasty. For Valentine's Day, I think it's a fitting drink. It's also a good-looking drink.
It's aesthetically pleasing, but sticky.
Set the mood on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are you ready for fun, bloody facts?
Very excited. Love that there's a whole movie around Valentine's Day that's horror. There's actually a few of them.
There is. I think this is the first one, though.
Yes. Give me the bloody Valentine's facts.
According to Neil Affleck, who plays Axel, the cast had no idea who the killer was during filming. He says he figured it out, though, when he was fitted for a fake arm.
That's hilarious. He's getting fitted for a fake arm, and he's like, huh, suspicious.
When I read that, though, I was like, what would make you think that you're the killer and not just someone getting amputated?
Right, because there's a lot of kills in here where Howard gets his neck snapped and stuff like that, and he didn't automatically think, oh, I'm the killer. I get my neck snapped.
The movie was filmed at Sydney Mines, Nova Scotia, and was chosen because the town had a rustic atmosphere. But when the locals found out a movie was going to be filmed there, this is so sad. I think it's like cute, you know, like
it is cute.
Poor people. When they found out it was going to get filmed there, they spent $50,000 to spruce the place up. The production company was like, what the fuck? We were choosing it to be ugly. So they ended up paying $75,000 to make the place look rustic again.
First of all, what a waste of money. Second of all, this screams like we're having company. You got to clean up. And then the company being like, no, we want it because your place is dirty as fuck.
Yeah, I think what makes it sadder is this place at the time in the 80s allegedly was in a downfall. Like their mining and things like that was going through a lot of problems and the town was kind of going to shit. They even thought that filming here was going to bring tourism to help them improve the city again. And it ended up not helping much either.
Really? It didn't bring like any tourism or anything? Because I feel like this is a cult classic.
From what I read, not like what they would have expected.
That is just sad all around.
It is, yeah, because I can't imagine being like, people are going to come and it's going to be awesome, we're going to be popular, and then no. They're like, actually, we wanted your city to be shitty.
Because it's the dirtiest, shittiest place we can think
Miniest, pollutantest, dirtiest, and the people are just sitting there like, okay, you could have stopped that rustic.
Rustic was cute, okay.
Mihalka has come out and said he purposely wanted this film to break the teen slasher stereotype and make it about working class people with, quote, no hope of a better future except working in that shithole. Again, you soot-faced ass, fucking dirty ass, small town ass people. That's what the production company basically said.
That's what the director said.
Damn, these people just went in here roasting this whole town.
Okay, so I would say they did not do a good job of it not being just another teen slasher because we figured it out, right? We're like, wait, they have to be 25, 27 years old and they're acting like straight up 16-year-olds.
Yeah, they're still acting like teenagers, so sure, they're working class folks, but they're portrayed like idiots.
Yeah.
Speaking of shitholes, the film was shot in an actual mine, and in order to avoid a methane explosion, they were only able to use specific types of lighting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the place could have blown up. This one's just fun. The film starts on Thursday, February 12th, which means that the next day, Friday, is the 13th.
Oh, so cut to Camp Crystal Lake going through their shit show, and then Saturday over here, their own shit show.
Yeah. Jason, Miss Voorhees, Axel.
All in the same universe.
Because this was in 1981, Friday the 13th was released the year before. John Lennon had also just recently died when this movie was released. Because of all that, backlash for Friday the 13th, John Lennon dying, they were like, now's not the time for violent movies. Cut a lot. So the MPAA was like, we're going to get rid of 9 minutes. I was looking at an interview from Mihalka who was like, they didn't even remove any gory shit. Like 6 of the 9 minutes was like more exposition and storyline about the people's backgrounds. They really only got rid of like 3 minutes of gore. And it wasn't even like the worst gore. They're like, they just got rid of Michael and Harriet's graphic deaths.
Right, because you don't see them die.
The impaling.
Yeah, which reminds me so much of, what is it, 2?
Yeah, Friday the 13th too.
And I was like, I wonder if they went the same route. Whoops, the actress was underage. We gotta kill them off screen.
That actress is definitely not underaged.
Catty.
She's not. She does not look like a kid. The other one did.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
Well, I'm still sad.
Still feel bad for those people.
Yeah. I think I saw recently that the actor who plays TJ passed away like last week.
Oh shit. That's not good. That's a sad fact.
I thought it was interesting because I feel like every time, you know, when you're covering a movie and you're like focused on it, you're getting information for it, is when like these stories about it just seem to pop up. And it's only because you're like noticing it more because you're focused on it.
That's right. I think when we covered Evil Bong with Always Room for More Pod, remember when we were talking about Bill Moseley and they were like, it was his birthday like a couple days ago?
Yeah.
Right before that episode? Yeah, it's funny.
It's just like little coincidences that happen when you're...
No, they're not coincidence. We're manifesting. Cool. Well, it's my turn to do a speed run and I am not ready for it.
I can't grab my phone for a speed run. Covered in... Okay, I think I can do it with this hand. Ready? Go.
So we're introduced to Valentine's Bluff. We see 2 miners right away. They're going into a mine. They both get naked. One of them's like, hey, start stroking the mask, is really into it, gets impaled. We are introduced to these miners. They're all friends. There hasn't been a dance for Valentine's Day since 20 years ago after one guy went around killing everybody. He's warning everybody with chocolate boxes, puts hearts in them, and the town is like, no, let's have the dance anyway. And one by one, people get picked off. There's 2 characters who are fighting over a girl. It's really stupid. The one guy ends up... The 2 of them are like confusing because you think one or the other is a killer. And again, people keep getting cut off or keep getting killed off. And then in the mine, we find out that Axel's the killer. He gets his arm chopped off, and yeah, the city's like, fuck, he's back, and then he's like, I'm gonna get you guys, and runs off maniacally.
You had 10 seconds left.
Okay, sorry, I was like, I'm gonna run out of time. I'm already tripping all over myself, just like Axel at the end of this.
That was pretty good. You missed a lot.
I did, but that's basically what happens.
I mean, yeah.
I could have gone into detail about Axel and TJ being shitty, and Sarah being in the middle of it all.
Oh, we will go into detail about that. It's a big plot point.
Apparently, we could have had 9 minutes more of plot points.
But less gore.
Less gore, more teenage people in their 20s. This is a small town, though. I can't imagine that there's anything else to do other than just have fun. Especially with everybody being like about the same age. They probably all went to school together and they're just friends all the way through.
Yeah, I think that's like implied when they're like fighting over Sarah. Okay. Friends defy the rules of a legendary murderer and discover he is real when they start celebrating Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Finally got a short one. But IMDb gives it a 6.3 out of 10, just for shits and giggles.
It should have been a 6.9. Be on brand, guys.
It's Valentine's Day.
Missed opportunity. Are you ready to dive into this mine worth of murder?
Yes. I like that this is a Canadian horror. It's the first time we've covered one.
Is Nova Scotia in Canada? Nova Scotia sounds European for some reason.
I think Nova Scotia is in Wisconsin.
Canada.
Canada.
I don't know geography. You know that.
TJ has a very thick Canadian accent.
TJ's annoying.
We open on 2 people dressed as miners walking through a set of dark tunnels. The 2 eventually stop and one begins to strip. It's a woman with a heart tattoo over her titty. It looks drawn in.
This just reminded me of Moxie from Borderlands.
I think Tiffany from Chucky, because she also has like like that.
It's a hot girl thing, okay? Why don't you have one?
I'm not a hot girl.
You are. I'm calling Alex tomorrow.
For context, Alex is a tattoo artist. It looks very fake, very Sharpie-ed.
Yeah, it's meant to get impaled in, which I think is kind of cool.
Speaking of impaled, the miner stabs a pickaxe into the wall as the two start messing around. The woman is seductively playing with the other miner's mask, rubbing it, when he suddenly picks her up and pushes her through the pickaxe that was stuck in the wall.
We have enough time through these intro credits to have her telling this guy, like, let's go, let's get naked. And he's like, no, I'm good. It's all about stroking the mask. Do your thing.
His specific kink.
Yep, because she's moaning, and he's like, yes. And then he kills her.
You can see the fake skin poking before she's even, like, impaled.
Out through her titty heart?
Yeah, they really emphasized it when they shouldn't have. Also, her makeup looks like Christmas. It's like red and green.
Really?
Yeah.
Wrong holiday, guys.
Get it together. We get a title card that says, My Bloody Valentine. We got to a crew of men working in the mines. They seem to be hazing a new crew member because they mention leaving him behind alone to find his way out. The crew hits the showers where we get introduced to Axel and TJ, and the crew keeps giving TJ shit about leaving their small town and coming back. TJ's not exactly happy, especially since he's found out that Axel has gotten with his ex-girlfriend Sarah while he was away.
Should have never left home, TJ. You went to California for what? Silicon Valley isn't even a thing yet.
He was trying to get in on it.
20 years before it even happened.
At the ground level. He has this very weird possessive mentality. Him and Axel over Sarah.
After the showers, the crew piles into cars to race to the bar in town as some pretty intense banjo music plays. We pass a town sign that tells us the town is named Valentine Bluffs, a small town with a very big heart. It's cute.
Cute.
We also see a bunch of signs everywhere that say that the Valentine's dance is approaching, but the crew stops at the town union hall to pick up their girlfriends for drinks. The girls have been decorating the hall for a big Valentine's dance that is happening that Saturday. We learn it's the first one taking place in 20 years. Axel greets Sarah awkwardly as TJ is broody and moody in the background. Like, bro, go somewhere else. Like, why are you here? Everyone's here to see their girlfriend. You have your own car. You could have just been like, I'll meet y'all at the bar.
I'll meet you at the bar. Good point. One of the other dudes is like super tall and his girlfriend's short.
Hollis?
No, not Hollis.
Hollis isn't the one that choke slams her?
No. Picks her up by the head and kisses her.
That's not how I should be kissing you?
No.
Oh.
I think it was John and Sylvia who did this.
The tall dude, right?
The tall dude.
Very tall man.
The tall man. Picks up his tiny girlfriend by the head like a doll, kisses her, and puts her back down.
Is she into it? I don't remember.
I mean,
this.
yeah, she like jumps up to greet him, but like as a couple, how do you coordinate this? How does this become a thing?
She jumps up to get her head caught by her giant boyfriend.
Could be her husband, they're fucking 30. We cut to Mabel, who seems to be in charge of decorating and putting together this entire dance for the town. She is speaking to the town mayor. He mentions he wants this dance to be perfect so that people forget the nonsense of the past. Again, alluding to the town having some like mysterious history. As he says this, one of the miners bursts through the door covered in fake blood.
It's Howard, right?
I believe it's Howard.
The
like
foolish friend.
The jokester. The mayor and Mabel brush him off and enter the union hall. We get an awkward exchange between the mayor and TJ where we learn that TJ is actually his son. He storms out and the mayor tells the rest of the crew that it's not his fault that TJ couldn't cut it in California and that as long as he's back in his town, he's going to be working in the mines. Way to put him on blast with everyone there.
Yeah, for real. I actually hadn't put two and two together that the mayor and this man were the same person. I was like, who is this man and why did he never show up ever again? I didn't realize it was his dad.
It does suck to be TJ. Like, you left your hometown and you couldn't cut it and you have to come back.
They never even explain why. It's just very mysterious as to why he left.
He literally just says he couldn't cut it or like he made a lot of mistakes. It's very vague. It's for the drama, okay?
And there's no sequels to this, right?
I think there is.
Like My Bloody Valentine 2?
Yes, I think there
Is
is.
there? I wonder if we find out why.
I know there's the remake in 2009.
There's also the 3D remasters and shit. The 3D one I thought was this one again, but just in 3D.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. 3D because they tell us about TJ's background. They take us to California and they immerse us into his
failure.
Yes.
You know, I really don't care about his background story. I'm here for murder.
I'm just here to hate him more.
I mean, yeah, he's not great. Yet another bashing the boyfriends episode here on Shaken Not Scared.
We're not great, okay?
Men are just, they're not doing so great. Some men. The chief of police is also there to meet with the mayor, and they're about to leave when one of the mining crew workers hands them a heart-shaped box of chocolates, saying it was left for the mayor. Upon opening the box, he discovers a human heart with an ominous note. From the heart comes a warning filled with bloody good cheer. Remember what happens as the 14th draws near. He panics a little bit, but is still way too calm for my taste.
Him and the chief together are like, oh, it's so sweet. Smiles all around. And then they're like, oh, fuck, it's a heart. Brings them down a notch.
I mean, yeah, it'd kill my mood too if I found a human heart.
Wouldn't it smell?
And wouldn't it be dripping blood like all over when the dude handed it to questions?
It would smell.
Not like chocolate.
Cut to the town bar named The Cage, and Axel and Hollis are playing the knife game or five finger fillet as Sarah watches.
Just imagine being in a small town and this is like your entertainment. Your boyfriend almost cutting his finger off.
It's also the 80s. You can't even just sit there and be on your phone.
Ugh, the worst.
Hollis and Axel are also just smiling and staring at each other heavily while doing it. It's kind of romantic.
It is romantic, except Hollis is like way more calm and Axel immediately gets too intense.
The bartender is being super creepy and ominous and immediately gives up the dark backstory of the town. 20 years ago, the town was known for their Valentine dance. It was a tradition going back over 100 years. Everyone in town was at the dance with the exception of 5 miners and 2 supervisors. Excited to make it to the dance, the 2 supervisors leave early, but they forget to check methane gas levels in the mining tunnels, causing an explosion that trapped the miners. The town ignored their screams as they partied all night. The town searched the mines for the men for 6 weeks, and when they finally found them, only one survived by eating the corpses of the others. Harry Warden was then institutionalized. The next year he escaped and got revenge on the 2 supervisors. He cut out their hearts and put them in heart-shaped boxes, leaving them at the dance, warning the town to never have a Valentine's dance again. Every February 14th, Harry returns to town to terrorize anyone celebrating Valentine's Day. The bartender then warns against the Saturday party, and the crew ignores his warnings.
Yeah, we didn't have to wait long to get that backstory. It was like immediately like, we'll tell you why this town is creepy.
You say creepy bartender, but I thought this guy had all the common sense. Later he ends up being insane, but at this point I was just like, he's telling them like, yo, y'all are being fucking idiots. Stop. Heed my warning. He is really aggressive though. He's like, fuck you, you stupid asses. Here's your beer.
Yeah, I think in my notes I put down he's like really rude to his patrons.
I mean, it's the only bar in town.
Yeah, that's true. But I like how you're like, he seemed very reasonable until later on. This is what I mean.
I mean, he wasn't trying to kill them though. He was just trying to scare them.
I don't know. He seemed very unhinged to me.
Again, he wasn't trying to kill them. He was just like, I'm going to show them that they shouldn't be stupid, which is a reasonable response because they are being stupid.
You could mind your business. They're gonna get murdered anyways. And now you got murdered for being nosy.
Yeah, I guess he did.
Instead, the crew starts singing a song to Harriet, the barmaid, saying that she's forever a virgin. I thought this was like super awkward, but it seems like they're all actually friends, so it just seems like your friends like
making fun of you,
like inside joke type of thing.
Yeah, I think if she was just a stranger and these people were from out of town, this is not okay.
This is not appropriate. While all this is going on, there's a ton of tension between Axel, Sarah, and TJ. So many stares, so many moody looks. Sarah even has to pretend to want to go play music to talk to TJ because Axel is like super jealous and possessive.
Literally like 5 feet away from Axel. They're not even hiding. It's like right there.
Gonna start fucking making out 5 feet from you, dude. She tries to get up and he's like, where the fuck are you going? Like, what if I got a shit, bro?
Oh, I was talking about TJ being weird. No. They're both fucking weird. Because TJ's also like got no damn business coming back to town acting like Sarah's his.
Exactly. Sarah tells TJ that it's his fault that things are the way they are and that he needs to accept it. TJ leaves angrily, saying he doesn't like things the way they are, like an angry toddler. I don't like it. He's so brooding, but it doesn't work. It's like just asshole brooding.
It's awkward. I think if I was Sarah, I'd be like, fuck y'all both. She does later, but she does it too late.
Takes her a minute. A lot happens between then to have her be like, fuck both of y'all.
Right.
The next scene we get is the mayor and the chief calling up the mental institution to see where Harry is, while a medical examiner looks over the human heart that was delivered to the mayor. I'd like to point out that this examiner is straight up like touching the heart with his hands, no gloves, just making out with it a little bit.
I can tell that it's human.
Okay, I know. There probably wasn't like fingerprints and DNA evidence at that time, but it still just feels gross to touch a human heart with your bare hands.
I'm picturing the test here for whether it's human or not is like him, like you said, making out with it, throwing it at a wall, seeing how high it bounces, kicking it a little bit, throwing it in dirt, and he's like, yep, that's pretty damn human.
Those are the tests we have to run. But after running his extensive tests, he explains that the heart really belongs to a woman in her 30s, so it's not fake, it's not a prop. We cut to Mabel at a laundromat, which apparently she owns, as a man, breathing heavily behind a mask, we assume, leaves a heart-shaped box. And every time there's like heart-shaped box anywhere, my mind automatically thinks of that Nirvana song.
The heart-shaped box song?
Yeah.
Apparently there's a band named My Bloody Valentine too that took the name because of this movie.
Ah. Do they sing about the movie?
I don't know, but Bloody Valentine's also a song by MGK.
It
and
is.
Megan Fox is in it.
Because every time I was trying to search something for this movie, that was the first thing that popped up. And I was like, I don't want any.
Fun facts about My Bloody Valentine. It's like, Megan Fox is in My Bloody Valentine?
From 1981.
How old is she?
Wow, she's a vampire.
Damn, Jennifer's body really do be doing good stuff in Megan Fox.
Mabel opens the box.
What's in the fucking box?
I don't know if they show it really. Is it another human heart?
I think she just is shocked.
And gets an ominous note in there as well that reads, roses are red, violets are blue, one is dead, and so are you. The lights then cut off in the laundromat. Mabel is attacked with a pickaxe. We get them kind of struggling for a minute, but it's not too long before Mabel is, she's gone. She's no more.
She's the only character aside from the mayor, the chief, and the crew that we ever meet in this entire town. It's just them and these three people. The crew, the chief, the mayor, and Miss Osborne. Those are the only people that live in town.
Until later when they need a rescue crew and there's suddenly way more townspeople.
They came from out of town.
Fuck, I'd leave too if I were TJ. There's 3 people here.
We cut to the mining crew hanging out in a car junkyard. They're heating up meat or sandwiches on a car engine as Axel is jamming on a harmonica. We get a point of view shot of the group to make us think that the killer is watching them, but it's TJ who joins Axel in his harmonica jam session.
Is that just what's it in Canada? Like, no one plays guitar or anything? It's just harmonica.
Axel's doing his harmonica thing. TJ comes in with the octave lower, and they start melting faces with their harmonica singing. They heat up the sandwich with their melty-ass tunes.
Melty-ass. Axel does not seem thrilled that TJ is coming in and...
Well, he did just scare the fuck out of him, so...
He did.
And he doesn't like him. He's back for his girl.
Is it implied they used to be best friends before this happened?
I think so. I think Hollis says it.
Okay. I like Hollis. Hollis and
cool.
Patty are like a way cooler couple in this movie.
They should have been the main characters. Hollis, he could have put up a big ass fight.
Earlier, he single-handedly breaks up a fight between Axel and TJ.
No struggle.
No struggle at all.
And everyone's like, okay.
Yes, sir.
TJ mentions that they have a problem, and Axel says that there is no problem. TJ left and can't expect to just have Sarah back. TJ says it's obvious who Sarah wants to be with, and Axel storms off upset. What? I don't understand TJ's willingness to come back and be like, I'm the one who decides what's happening in this building. I'm the leader. I'm the one who gets to say who Sarah's into and who's not.
Yeah, I really don't like his character. I get that he's supposed to be our hero, but...
I didn't see him as a hero at all at any point in this movie.
Okay, I get that we're supposed to be guessing if him or Axel is the killer throughout the entire movie.
And you know what that means? That because he's so suspicious, there's no point, even after we find out who the real killer is, to trust him either way. Because he's just that suspicious. Why is he so shady about everything? The movie does it on purpose to be like, we don't want the viewer to see who the killer is, so let's confuse them with weird and shady behavior. But that weird and shady behavior, even when you find out he's not the killer, is still like, but why were you shady the whole time, bro? Like,
still off-putting.
Yeah.
I just love that these people are supposed to be in their 20s, and they're just having this very high school drama about, like, you stole my girlfriend. We'll get into it in another scene, but yeah, TJ's the worst.
So is Axel. Up to this point, Axel hasn't been shady himself. He has a reason to be defensive. It's like, I mean, I'm with Sarah now, dude. Like, TJ's trying to be a homewrecker.
Yeah, but he is just too possessive. Grabbing someone by the fucking arm and being like, where the fuck are you going?
When I told you, Axel's also a piece of shit. I'm just saying that up to this point, he hasn't necessarily been positioned to be like the weird or sus character. TJ is here now trying to like tell him, hey, give me my girl back. And he's like, what the fuck does that mean, bro? You were gone for years. You're not my boss.
That is one of the questions I had later on in the film. TJ's dad owns the mines. Axel tries to like tell TJ what to do or tries to give him an order while at work. And I get that he's probably like grounded by his dad. Like, oh, you don't get to take over the mines yet because you went away or whatever. And Axel's trying to like have that like I'm a boss over you kind of position.
Outside of this place, TJ wants to act like he can tell Axel what to do. This is the position where Axel has the upper hand, where he's like, fuck you, you do what I say or you get fired.
But doesn't, because then a supervisor comes in and is like, fuck both of y'all.
You ain't even his boss. Why are you telling him what to do?
I'm the boss. Who are you? Who the fuck are you?
I just want to make it clear I wasn't defending Axel.
Okay. Meanwhile, while they're having their teen drama, the mayor and the chief are trying to do some fucking work. They're still calling to figure out where Harry Warden is. The woman in charge of the institution does not give a fuck. And I'm like so surprised by her responses in this, because she's like, his records are kind of missing. He could be dead. He could be in another institution. Like, take your pick.
She's the April Ludgate of this institution.
Yeah, she really is.
She's like, this isn't the institution. And Ron Swanson's behind her high-fiving because they didn't do any work.
Seriously, I think it's super illegal to not know where your patient is.
No.
But the chief rightfully is upset and is like, no, that's not good enough. Call me back when you have some actual info.
And she's like, yeah, okay.
Sure. This movie is pretty fast paced, so there's a lot of like, now we're talking with these characters. No, we're talking with these characters. Because now we're here with Sarah and Patty talking about the dance. Sarah is upset about both TJ and Axel's behavior, but Patty is like trying to cheer her up, telling her, hey, the dance is coming up. Put on your best dress. Just have a good time. Don't let either of them bother you.
Fuck the boys.
Yes. She said, I got my whole dress on. I'm gonna have a good time.
Yes.
And her dress is like very conservative, actually. I thought it was really funny.
That's her hoe dress, babe.
That's her hoe dress.
No judgment.
In a small town, that's a hoe dress.
Did you see how much angle she was showing? Fuck.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm surprised the mayor's still alive.
The next scene we get is the mayor looking for Mabel at the laundromat to discuss possibly canceling the dance. He can't find her, but finds it odd that all the heart decor has been turned upside down in the laundromat.
The killer went around leaving clues.
She's over here.
The easiest of deciphering, he's like, upside down heart on this dryer? Upside down heart on this wall?
What does it mean?
Opens the dryer underneath, nothing. And it's the one next to it.
Yes, something clearly does not sit right with him as soon as he enters the laundromat.
Smells good.
Right after, we get Mabel's fried dead body plopping out of the dryer. This was an interesting kill.
I'm also confused why she couldn't just push herself out, but she's dead already.
She's dead.
Why
couldn't she get out of the dryer herself?
Well, because I was like, we were in Disney a few years back, and
you were in a
the
dryer?
we put shoes in the dryer. The door would open like every 5 seconds because the shoes were just pushing the door out.
Disney has precautions so you don't put dead bodies in their washing machine.
Yes, because at IIT, I think the door's locked on the dryers.
Oh no.
Yeah. Don't get any ideas, students. I know some of y'all listen. Maybe they don't lock anymore for that reason.
I mean, they shouldn't.
They should, because then your fucking shoes aren't drying.
This is some pretty decent makeup too.
On her being murdered?
On her being crispy.
Yeah. Do you think it would burn you that much?
I don't know.
This is kind of dumb, but I was like, I wonder if it was that hot. You can open it and touch the clothes, and it's not like on fire.
I don't know, but if it's like just the dryer going off all night in heat.
Also, this is a small lady if she fit in a dryer, because I can't fit in that dryer. My whole upper torso didn't fit when I was trying to fix it.
I definitely don't fit in a dryer, husband.
Have you tested this?
I'm too big.
I'm surprised you're not in the dryer right now.
Well, you heard it here first. You know where to find me.
Target with some Starbucks.
In the dryer.
Yeah, in the dryer at Starbucks.
What? That's what you're going to tell police?
She's in a dryer at Starbucks.
What? Starbucks have dryers? Cut to police with Starbucks cups.
What were we here for?
Yeah.
I don't know, but this mint chocolate chip latte is great. This cop, I don't know if he was problematic. Please tell me if he was. But he gives me like very like genuinely happy, positive vibes.
Does he?
Yeah, you don't feel that from him? He walks in there and is like, yeah, he's got a smile. He's very chipper. Like if I knew him, I feel like I'd be in a good mood all the time.
I'd feel safe in his stand.
No, not safe, just happy.
Because everyone gets murdered. He gives me Loomis vibes. Don't know.
The mayor gives me Loomis vibes. This guy is fine.
Vibes. While this crime scene is being investigated, the mining crew is back at work. Axel is being a total jerk to TJ, almost causing a fight to break out between them when a supervisor comes in and just kind of sends TJ off. We already kind of talked about this scene. Some weird power dynamics going on here. I think this is when TJ goes off to then steal his girlfriend for the day.
Yep, that's what you do.
That's what you do when you get the day off work.
Say, fuck you, not fuck you. I'm gonna go take your girlfriend.
Yeah, just some more like alpha male bullshit. Girl mine, no. Girl mine, no.
This is a lot of fuck yous.
I feel like that's your go-to when you're explaining like conflicts in a movie.
I mean, well, how else? None of the actual fighting matters. It's just fuck you and that's it.
Is that all you hear when you hear
Yeah.
fighting?
Yeah. I don't hear any of it. I just hear,
No
I'm
dialogue.
against you.
Therefore, I hate you. Back at the crime scene, however, the mayor and the chief are being a little shady and trying to hide everything from the town. They're instructing the ambulance to take Mabel's body out back so no one will see it. It's at this moment that the chief finds a note in Mabel's body saying, "It happened once, it happened twice. Cancel the dance or it'll happen thrice."
This guy used that Clarice Starling logic and was like, hold up, let me check the crevice in the body real quick, where everyone else didn't.
This is where Hannibal left me a note. I like this Valentine's Day rhymes as a calling card. I think it's funny. I love that it's cheesy. I don't know, it works for me.
It's punny.
It's punny and dark. The mayor immediately goes into crisis mode. He is shutting it down. All of it.
But don't tell anybody.
Take down all the decorations.
But don't say why it happened.
He closes up the Union Hall where he informs the rest of the dance committee that he is canceling everything in honor of Mabel's death. These kids are super disrespectful. They're like, fuck no, I just want to party.
Miss Osborne would want it to happen. I'm thinking of Tammy and her friend. What's her friend's name?
Jocelyn.
She wants it to happen right now in her grave. I heard her say it herself.
Yeah. But they just don't give a fuck. Back with TJ, we find out he's shown up at Sarah's job and kidnapped her.
I saw this and I was like, what? She's like, no, I don't want to go with you. Like, she's clearly and visibly upset that you're forcing her, and he still does it.
He takes her somewhere that has meaning to the both of them.
Look at this romantic site, and there's all these factories in the background.
I think what makes it worse is that he takes her somewhere that's like significant to the both of them. It's like a layer of like emotional manipulation as well. They have like a super vague conversation that honestly does not tell us anything, and maybe didn't even need to be in this movie. She kind of tells him off in this scene, saying like,
this shit wasn't romantic 5 years ago. What the fuck makes you think it's romantic now?
We are literally in a sea of factories.
I'm getting cancer as we speak.
They do kind of have a moment where she says, you never wrote to me, you never called me, what was I supposed to do? She has the right to move on. And they do. I think that's what like pisses me off so much about TJ, is he expected time to stop in this small town for him, and when he came back he could just have everything that used to be his. Like, that's not how life works, my dude.
Earlier his sentence of being like, I just don't like how the way things are. It's like, okay,
leave again then.
Grow up, dude.
You are 30. There is some like kind of bullshit apology from TJ where he's like, I couldn't cut it. I fell on my ass out there. I'm sorry. I made a lot of mistakes.
Sounds like a personal problem.
However, this does lead to them having a kiss. Sarah still definitely has feelings for him, but him leaving and then coming back and being a giant asshole is not helping his case. Later at the bar, Axel is looking for Sarah and questions TJ about it. He says that Sarah is no longer his responsibility, and he doesn't have to keep track of where she is, which is so shady because he literally just kidnapped her. Cut to Sarah walking home alone, so you couldn't even drop her off at her house. What a dick.
Like, did he just show up at the bar and is like, okay, bye?
It would be too suspicious if we walk in together, go home.
That's where I'm parking. I'm not stopping at your house, so you can walk home. I've got what I wanted. I got the kiss.
Asshole. She's really upset about the kiss that happened with TJ, and she's asking herself how she's going to tell Axel. We get another fake out jump scare of her running into the chief. He just tells her to go home safely.
Back at the bar, the crew is planning to throw their own Valentine's Day party at the mines. They're all just like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Nobody has a fucking house to go throw a house party instead of doing it in the mines.
These people are 25 in the 80s.
The town is just them and the chief and mayor now. Miss Osborne's dead.
Is it just a bunch of empty houses? You could just go claim one.
Honestly, they're already at the bar. Why are they going anywhere else?
You got what you need.
The bartender is having none of it and warns against it. The bartender had actually planned a prank to play on the crew that night and sets up a dummy that looks like the miner. He sets up the dummy across from the mines in some like utility closet. It's like a dummy that has a pickaxe that goes up and down when you open the door. So he opens and closes it so many times.
And he's
so many.
giggling.
He reminds me of the weird character from Friday the 13th.
Yes, having watched so much Halloween and so much Friday the 13th, this is exactly those movies, just Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Being too busy having fun, though, he goes back to check one last time, and the dummy this time is the real Harry Warden, quote unquote. He kills the bartender with a pickaxe straight through the face, and he gets dragged away.
And again, he would have survived if he just minded his own business. He's out here warning against Valentine's Day and is trying to like sabotage a Valentine's Day party. Like, just go out.
Even where he sets up the dummy, I'm like, were they gonna go to this store?
Obviously, they're gonna go there to make out.
Oh.
That's another thing that bothers me about this movie, portraying them all as just like a bunch of horny teenagers that have nowhere to bang, and that's why they need to have this party. Like you said, they're like all almost 30.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's a small town. There's nothing else to do. We get a title card explaining that it's Valentine's Day, and the crew is setting up for the party in the mines. The chief is back at the police station after what seems like a quiet night. He's received another Valentine, and he's worried that it's another human heart. However, it's a gift from Mabel before she passed away, and he kind of is like, oh.
Yeah, it's sad.
I'm telling you, this guy's like a good dude. He comes off that way, at least to me. I trust him. Back at the mines, the crew is partying and having a good time. One of the newbies goes to get a hot dog from the kitchen when he gets attacked by someone dressed like a miner. He gets his face just pushed into the boiling hot dog water.
Nasty. Not a way I want to go.
Boiling hot dog water?
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Can I eat a hot dog while I'm getting my face boiled?
Seems like difficult to do. Seems like it'd only kill you faster.
No. I'm gonna die eating. The chief's about to leave for the night when he hears a bunch of dogs barking right outside the station. He goes outside and sees that they're eating something bloody out of a Valentine's box. One of the dogs is like, no, I'm not leaving. There's blood in this. He finds a note in the box saying, you didn't stop the party, and we get a dramatic scene of him yelling, what party?
I just love this, like, what party? Like screaming into the void, like, ah! 6 times!
Yeah. Back at the party, tensions are getting too high with Axel and TJ. Axel's getting very possessive, and Sarah doesn't like it. When TJ tells him to back off, Axel is pissed. But Sarah says she can speak for herself. TJ tells her to then use her mouth to speak the truth.
The truth.
TJ informs Axel that Sarah wants to get back with TJ. She wants me back, Axel. And he's like, the fuck you talking about? Sarah's like, y'all are both acting like children.
And then I think Axel says something. It's like, well, you love it. You love the attention. And part of me feels like she does kind of like the two men being into her, but not all of the alpha male bullshit that's going on here.
Right. A fight breaks out and Sarah is visibly upset. Hollis is able to break up the fight single-handedly and sends Axel away. TJ tries to apologize to Sarah, but she's over it.
Very high school drama.
On his way out, Axel, pissed and drunk, grabs another beer as he kicks the door open, flailing around, and then just cries outside behind the mine.
Dramatically. I just love that Hollis literally grabs them both and is like, oh, you guys think you're so fucking tough, and just breaks up the
Chokes
fight
them
by
out.
himself.
Sleeper hold. That's what he should have done. Just knocked them all out.
Yeah. Not until you figure this shit out are you allowed to wake up. We leave that couple's drama behind and go follow John and Sylvia, who have decided to go off somewhere in the mines to make out. Things are getting pretty hot and heavy when Sylvia asks John to go get some more beers. They're also messing with like the equipment in the mines. Ha ha ha, tee hee hee.
What does this button do?
Yeah.
What does that button do? It's not even like they're in the most exciting part of the mine. She's like, oh my god, this is your clothes?
She's trying to get laid, okay? She's gonna act impressed by everything.
Honestly, I think he would have done it whether she was impressed or not.
I think so too. John makes his way to the kitchen to go get them some more beers when he's interacting with the girls making the hot dogs. One of them actually finds a boiled heart. She doesn't know this, but it's actually a human heart. It looks disgusting.
It looks boiled.
It looks like a piece of chicken that's boiled.
It really does.
John is distracted by this and laughing, saying that it's probably a prank that Howard or one of the guys try to play. He doesn't notice that Dave's body is right in the fridge as he's reaching for beers.
Do it for the beer.
And to get laid.
Yes. I don't think I've ever not looked in a fridge, because this happens too often in horror movies where it's like, open the fridge, grab whatever you're looking for, don't look inside, there's a dead body, close
Get distracted by something else.
Unaware of where anything I'm looking for is, so I'm going to look all the way around and still act like I can't find it and call out to Vivi and be like, where'd you put the pot of chicken that's in the middle of the fridge?
A little behind the scenes. This drink was supposed to have
boiled chicken in it,
blood, orange juice, and Eric saw the label and just grabbed the first thing that was there and he brought back extra apple juice. Very
organic.
Fancy.
Okay, it was organic apple juice.
It was freshly squeezed.
It was a late night and the thing said blood orange and it was right next to it. It was like apple was one and then right next to it was blood orange. So I was like, oh, perfect. It's like they knew I was coming.
Yeah.
I had one job.
It's okay. The drink is still pretty tart.
I don't know that blood orange juice would have helped it.
We'll never know. Back in the mine, Sylvia is having not a great time because she's starting to hear like strange noises, getting freaked out a little bit. The uniforms that are hanging from the ceiling start falling all around her.
It's kind of cool.
It's creepy, for sure. The uniforms keep falling until the corpse of the bartender falls over her. And here he is. Like,
surprise!
Surprise, shawty.
And he's still yelling about them fucking throwing a party.
He's like, I fucking told you, look what happened to me.
And then he dies.
I was just waiting to say I told you so. She is then attacked by the miner, and her head is lifted up and onto a hook or shower head.
It's a shower head. This is one of those things that I thought was going to be in the deleted scenes when I looked at the 9 minutes. It's apparently not, because we only get a backside view with the mouth and the shower head coming out. Yeah. I thought it would have looked cool to see this.
To show.
Because it's fucked up. In one filming of it, they made it so that the water turned red.
That would have been cool to see.
But there's still shots of the full frontal view, and it just looks like a dummy. Apparently it doesn't even look good.
Oh, that's probably why they did this then.
Yeah.
They're like, it's not convincing. Awkward. But unfortunately for John, he makes his way back to find Sylvia. He is excited by hearing the showers turn on. Thinking,
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly how he sounds.
So awkward. It was so... It's like, did they not give him lines? And they're like, act excited. And that's all he said.
Just be horny and excited. He's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that so much.
All right. All right.
All right. All right. All right. He said, Matthew McConaughey. Got it. Unfortunately, he does not find a sexy surprise. He finds Sylvia's head attached to the shower and he totally freaks out, understandably.
His reaction is actually pretty different than what I would expect. Usually it's like the boyfriend's like, I'm gonna kill him, and this guy's like visibly sad and upset
freaked
about what
out.
happened. He's crying and everything to the people in the party.
Yeah, better acting than the horny acting for sure.
All right. They killed her.
They'll never get laid.
Crocodile tears.
Back at the party, Hollis and Patty are trying to cheer Sarah up by taking her down to the mines. This would not cheer me up.
You know what we should do? Go into his job.
To a dark, depressing, dirty hole.
I think it's Patty who's like, oh my god, Hollis, can't believe you work here. He's like giving them the tour. Hollis is such a cool character.
I love Hollis.
He's like the big bro of them all.
Again, liked him way better than our protagonist. But they're also a really small town. And if you've never been to the mines where everyone works, you're like, oh, this is what everyone talks about.
It's also surprising that they would have waited this long to actually do something like this.
Well, as they're trying to leave, TJ's like, hey, where are you going? And they're like, oh, we're just going to go check out the mines real quick. And he's like, you know the rules. There's no women allowed in the mines.
And Hollis is like, I'll beat your ass, bro.
Again. Sit your ass down.
You don't even go here.
Who are you? Hollis, Patty, and Sarah are followed by Howard, Mike, or Great Value Ashton Kutcher, as I like to call him, and Harriet.
I took that feedback, and as I continued to watch, I was like, no.
Look at the way he smiles.
But look at his nose.
Yeah, if he had a nose job, he would look just like him in that 70s show.
Or he doesn't last long enough to care.
I mean, no.
Because he dies like right away.
Spoiler, you're getting ahead of me. Everyone dies at the end.
All right.
But they get in the service train, and they're treating it like a mini roller coaster, like it's super fun to go down there.
To be fair, when I was a kid and we would go on downhills in the car, I'd be like, woo, to put my hands up. So this is probably more fun than that.
Small town fun. Once down there, Hollis decides to give the crew a tour as Harriet and Mike sneak off together. Back at the party, someone has finally found Dave's body in the fridge. It took him way too long. John has also burst into the room to tell everyone what happened to Sylvia. TJ and Axel are now both at the party again and instruct everyone to leave and tell one of the guys to go get the chief since there is a problem with the phone lines.
Sobers the fuck up real fast.
Stops crying. TJ informs Axel that Sarah is down in the mines and they have to go search for her. Fuck everybody else. We gotta go get Sarah, or else what are we gonna find about later?
Patty, Hollis, and Sarah are goofing off in the mines when Howard scares them by hanging upside down. Harriet and Mike are making out in the engine room as the rest of the group runs into Harry, who begins chasing them through the mines, smashing light bulbs along the way. Back in town, the rest of the kids have run into the chief. They tell him that Harry showed up to their party and just started murdering everybody. Left and right. TJ has run into the group and informed them that Dave and Sylvia were murdered. Instructs Hollis to find Harriet and Mike, and for Howard to stay with the girls. Howard's like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? Hollis finds Harriet and Mike in the engine room with a giant, I think this is one of those rigs, like a giant drill bit.
Okay, I had no idea what this was, but I thought, they were gonna screw. How funny would it be if they were impaled with that giant screw?
They were literally screwed to each other.
Romantic. Also, I hope Harriet wasn't like a virgin for real, because that would suck.
As he backs away in horror, he runs straight into Harry, who proceeds to nail gun Hollis in the head.
So sad.
I know. I think had he not dropped his helmet, because I think he was wearing one, as he's trying to put it on is when Harry takes advantage. Hollis is able to stumble back to the group, but dies at their feet. Howard bails as he sees Hollis and Harry approaching in the distance. Sarah tries to get Patty to run with her, but she's too upset about Hollis to run. Axel finally appears and drags the girls away from Hollis in order to leave the mines.
I feel so bad for Patty. They actually liked each other, and everyone was just about the drama. She has to see her boyfriend die in the mines.
Who is the best person in this whole place?
The whole world. Also, fuck Howard, who just ditches them.
You knew that was going to happen. Howard is clearly the clown, and I'm surprised he's lasted this long.
Yeah, that's what you get for tagging along, I guess. As Axel and the girls are sneaking through the mines, they hear someone approaching. Axel just grabs something to defend himself with and accidentally jams it into TJ. He's fine, though. He's just hurt. The two dudes decide to go get help for the others. They believe Howard is fine, and he's still running. Since Hollis was the one that found Harriet and Mike, they might not even be aware that they're dead yet. At this point is all kind of like, go back and look for this person. Oh no, I don't know where this person is.
It's really confusing because I think at one point TJ's with the girls. He's like, all right, go that way. I'm going to go this way. Sarah's like, why? What the fuck are you talking about?
Why? I literally wrote down, for some fucking reason, he tells them to go off on their own.
He doesn't even say why. We rewinded it twice because we thought we missed it. And he's just like, I'm going to go this way. And they're like, why though?
Because I gotta make you think I might be the killer. Duh. The chief has finally arrived on the scene and is calling for backup. But the group in the mines have made their way up to the elevators. However, the control panel has been smashed by Harry and there is no other way out. Except for this super tall ladder, which I would also hate. I don't blame Patty for then freaking out about the height of this thing.
Really?
I mean, she's been through a lot. She literally just saw her boyfriend die.
She says she's scared of heights, and I think that's the biggest reason. But like, honestly, if she hadn't been scared, they'd have been fine. They would have all just gone upstairs.
They wouldn't have been fine. The group is climbing. Sarah keeps yelling at Axel to slow down because they're way behind him. She is then instructed to help Patty because she's just freaking out way too much. Since Axel's the first one up the ladder, he's the first one to see Howard's body drop off the side. His body drops so hard that his neck snaps on a rope and the rest of his body drops down to the floor.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking gruesome.
It is, because it sputters blood at the girls and they're like, nope, going back down. Freaking out, the group decides they need to find another exit. In the panic, Axel volunteers to stay behind and keep an eye out for Harry as the others try to escape. Literally 2 seconds later, we hear what sounds like an altercation or a fight. When the group runs back, it appears as if Axel's body has fallen into this pool of water. When the girls are freaking out and telling TJ to go help him, TJ's like,
it's deep.
That's 60 feet deep. He's dead. He doesn't try that hard, granted.
No.
He's like, no, he's dead. He's fucking dead. Let's just keep going. If he has just fallen in, you could literally like stick your hand in and probably still find him. I just don't like him, if I'm totally honest.
The group continues to search for an exit. For some reason, TJ sends the girls off alone as a bunch of rubble starts to fall around him. The girls have even worse luck as they run straight into Harry, who's stabbed Patty in the gut as they round the corner. Sarah's alone and has no time to react as she runs from Harry. We get a jump scare as Sarah runs straight into TJ, who's injured from the falling rubble. Outside, the rescue party is finally making their way into the mines, and this is of no help to Sarah and TJ because they're now face to face with Harry. They try to ride the service train out of the mines, but Harry's right behind them climbing. TJ and Sarah are acting like the train's moving like nobody's business, and Harry's just walking
just
upright.
Over. It's very cartoony feeling to me. Like, I feel like I've seen this bit in old cartoons.
High-speed train chase.
Yeah.
Harry finally attacks TJ with the pickaxe when Sarah thinks quickly and hands him a shovel, so he's blocking with the shovel. They fight off of the service train and roll to the side.
I would say she does not think quickly because she's just like, oh my god, here, take that. You take care of it.
Keep fighting.
I'll be over here, thanks. Let me know when this is all over.
The service train has made its way back out of the mines, and the search party sees it and sees that no one's on it, and they're like, oh shit, someone is down here. So they hurry up.
Took them way too long to go down there.
They did the best they could, because they could have been like every other horror movie and just showing up after the fact.
They did. They did nothing.
But more after the fact.
They could have been 20 minutes later.
Yeah, because they still got a chance to see the killer. I'm talking about like when it's just everyone's dead, and then the cops show up, and they're like, oh, what happened?
Killer's gone.
Yeah.
Harry corners TJ and Sarah into a mine that looks like it has no apparent exit. Harry, in his rage, is destroying everything, and rubble is crashing down around them. Harry has finally gotten the upper hand on TJ and is about to finish him off when Sarah decides to unmask him just for the hell of it, to distract him, I guess. Again, this is just like Halloween. This is just like Friday, where the final girl just like unmasks the killer, trying to distract him. Surprise! Axel's the killer, and he's alive. What? Crazy. Didn't see it coming.
Yeah, it's weird that we suddenly get this whole flashback of trauma from Axel because he's like frozen in place when she finally does this. He's staring off, and we get flashes to when he's a kid under a bed covered in blood. When Harry, the original killer, kills his dad in front of him, it's like Silent Night, Deadly Night. He's got this whole traumatic child thing, but this is the only time we have any inkling of Axel being mentally unstable.
Yeah, there's no hint of this at all. Revealing his true identity distracts Axel so much that TJ is able to get the jump on him, using a giant rock to push Axel back. Axel falls, and because he's been tearing away at all the rubble around him, the mine crashes around him. TJ and Sarah are able to escape and are immediately met with the way too late rescue party. The chief informs the mayor, TJ, and Sarah that Harry Warden died 5 years ago. The mayor is super confused and is like, well then who was murdering everybody? TJ informs him that it was Axel, and the mayor is like, oh, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. He did witness his dad's brutal murder 20 years ago. They go in to investigate the mine because they believe they found Axel's body. Sarah insists on seeing him, but we discover that only Axel's hand was trapped in the rubble and the rest of him got away. The whole Axel. Minus a hand. He escapes through the mines saying some crazy shit. Harry, wait for me. I'm gonna join you. He's also singing a song with lyrics that say Daddy's gone, and he ends it by saying, Sarah, be my bloody Valentine. He's cackling totally unhinged as we get the end credits and a very campy 1950s song about Valentine's Day.
I think it's weird that Axel's completely unhinged from this point on. Like, has he just been hiding it this whole time, or was this the breaking point? Like, what?
Yeah, was TJ coming back and trying to take his girlfriend the breaking point? Or was that he was just going through the motions of that to distract from the fact that he was murdering everybody? Does he just attack anyone who's celebrating Valentine's Day? Like, if you're a couple and you're trying to bang, like, he's just gonna murder you because it's Valentine's Day?
He shows up behind your car automatically, summoned by by the sexy times on Valentine's Day.
Aren't all killers just summoned by the sexy time? I don't know. I like it though.
It's probably one of the best holiday horrors.
Yes, you brought it up earlier, but it has very similar vibes to Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night came out 3 years later in 84, but still, maybe even Silent Night, Deadly Night took inspiration from this.
Yeah, I think it's just really fun. It's not anything groundbreaking. They literally took the format for Halloween and Friday and just applied it to Valentine's Day, but I appreciate it.
What would you rate it?
I am going to give it a 7.5. Effects are pretty decent. I enjoy the killers' calling cards. You hate Axel and TJ, so even though their drama is so petty, I'm like here for it. It's just, I do enjoy me some petty drama.
I give it a 7. I don't like either of the two main characters, Axel being one of them, but I also don't like the way that Sarah ends up with TJ anyway. Like
By
they walk
default.
off, like they end up together due to trauma bonding, but I don't think that Sarah's better off with TJ either way. Sarah should go somewhere else. Sarah should go to California.
She needs to go try to make it on her own. Fuck.
Yeah, she needs to get away from the small town.
Do you want to tell me what scared Loki about this movie?
Yeah, so he was jealous because some dogs in the movie got to eat raw heart, and he has not been able to do that.
He loves him some good raw heart.
Oh, yeah.
Loki can't be bougie.
Again, it's his birthday. He's going to get some treats today. Not raw heart like these dogs, but do you want to tell us about it, Loki?
It's okay. It's your birthday. We'll get you something to eat too.
And we'll cook it.
Maybe.
Because you're bougie. You're 2 years old. You're a whole 20 whatever old man. We were trying to do like calculation of dog years. Google was like, he's 9. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure he's in his 20s.
I know my dog, and he's in his 20s. He has that aura of being lost and confused in life.
He's literally working in the mines right now.
That's another thing that bothered me about this, and I think we've talked about it quite a bit. But if the murders happened 20 years ago, we figured that Axel in this group is about like 25, 27, acting like this.
That's true. The kid being, what, 5, 6, 7 years old? Yeah, he's like in his late 20s.
And they're all still like worried about where they're gonna get their next beer, where they're gonna fuck. Like,
You don't do that? You don't sit around worrying about where you're going to get your next beer and where you're going to fuck?
because I have a home, and I know that that's where
I'm
these
still
two
lost.
things are coming from.
What? This is a family podcast. I don't know what
Okay.
you're talking about. We're just friends.
Just friends. Yeah, that's all I have to say. The director was trying to get away from that whole like teen slasher, but it definitely felt like a teen slasher.
So, fun fact, at the end, look at that. I was reading on an interview with the director. Allegedly, they wanted a sequel to happen, but the sequel was denied because the director was like, yeah, the person who wanted to pick it up 10 years after the first one wanted the sequel to be teenagers and like sex and like the typical stereotypes of slashers. And he was like, nah, fuck you.
But this is like typical.
Nah, because they're teenagers. I wanted them to be adults.
And doing that stuff.
It hits different, okay, when they're old.
And depressed that they work there.
If anything, the next one should be seniors.
Senior citizens.
Senior citizens just doing it on Valentine's Day. And one of them's the killer.
Interesting.
Have we seen that in a horror movie?
I was gonna say, is there a horror movie centered around senior citizens?
That seems like untapped potential.
Oh, The Taking of Deborah Logan is a play on like an older protagonist.
Oh, wait, is it really?
She's like a character that's going through Alzheimer's. That one's pretty good. It's got some decent scares.
Interesting. I should watch that.
Does that pretty much wrap it up here for us?
Yeah! Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I hope y'all get very romantic. Don't murder nobody. Don't get pulled in by your ex's toxic ass masculinity.
Or their masculinity.
Just don't let anybody be toxic to you. Have a best Valentine's Day, even if it's just you by yourself. Enjoy your day off from people.
Drink this drink. It'll help.
Yeah.
But as always, we hope you guys had a good time here with us. You can follow us pretty much anywhere at Shaken Not Scared Pod, except Twitter. Twitter is Shaken Scared Pod. You could send us an email at shakennotScaredPod@gmail.com.
Support the show on Patreon. You can get early access to episodes or a bonus episode and themed drink idea every month. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a follow. Check out our drink videos. On Patreon right now, we're trying to pick which movie to do for February. So if you want to get in there and tell us what to watch, do it now.
Like right now, because it's the middle of February.
What's on the slate?
Oh, we're choosing between Gerald's Game, My Bloody Valentine, the 2009 remake, and Valentine, which is another Valentine horror that I've never seen.
Yeah, go out there and vote.
Be sure to like, rate, review, all that good stuff. And Kate, thanks. Bye.
Bye.